So anyway, I saw Morbius. I like half watched it just to make a review because I had nothing else. Originally, I was gonna talk about like 3 movies. Yeah, 3 movies. Morbius has broken my brain. So I watched Morbius and then I was like, no, I think this is enough for one day. I watched it today. I like half watched it while I was doing other things. I did give it a chance for like the first 10-20 minutes, but at a certain point I just gave up and I was like, well, I gotta finish it to make a review out of it. Well, I'm just gonna write stuff and fucking... It was funny though because I got like a shitty cam rip version. So like every 10 minutes there would just be an ad for like a slot machine website or something.
What do you use on this bait?
You volunteering?
Leave it.
It was a very weird choice by the filmmaker to put that in. Maybe it's to symbolize how much money they made by putting this out into theaters, by re-releasing it, because they re-released it and it failed. You know, they really took a gamble and it didn't pay off. They put all their money on Morbius. Honestly, I didn't even need to watch the movie. Like 20 minutes in, you can just tell. I keep playing with the lens cap because I need something to do with my hands. Something to get Morbius off the mind. It is a nothing movie. Like, it is such a nothing burger. You know, McDonald's should make a Morbius burger and it's just 2 buns. Why did I watch this movie? Well, like I said, I wanted to review it. That's it. Listen, you know, sometimes I get all hoity-toity, artsy-fartsy on this channel and talk about some high art and shit. Sometimes I just need to make fun of a bad piece of shit movie. Okay, but before we get into the shit, I probably should have started with things I liked. I like Matt Smith as the villain. Is that his fucking name? It is Matt Smith. I like Matt Smith as the villain. He's terrible, but he's like hamming it up and he dances to have sex. Which, I mean, that's just great. I feel like he knew the movie was bad, so he was just like, fuck it. It's honestly not even that great. I feel like I'm grasping at straws here, but, you know, props to him, I guess. Props to Michael Keaton as well. I mean, this isn't really the movie's doing. This is Spider-Man Homecoming's doing. It's good casting. I think he does a fine job for like the 2 seconds he's in it. He's in like a 1 scene at the end and then they do an extra credit scene. Morbius really did break my brain. Holy shit. They do an after credit scene which is laughable.
I'm not sure how I got here. Has to do with Spider-Man, I think. I'm still figuring this place out, but I think a bunch of guys like us should team up and do some good.
Intriguing.
It's laughable because you can tell they weren't in the same place filming it. They were definitely in different locations. And it's just like, I think we should make a Sinister Six movie. And like, that's the dialogue. I like how when I was saying things I liked and it immediately just transitioned into things I didn't like. Everything else in this movie either sucks or is forgettable. There's nothing else. There's nothing exceptional. There's nothing not even like great. There's not even really anything good. To me, the worst thing a movie can be is forgettable. And by God, does this movie exist. I feel it slipping out of my brain as I talk about it. If you were to ask me what was the plot, I'd be like, partially because I gave up watching after a while, but I was paying attention enough. And Michael Morbius is a guy, he does stuff with bats, and he's like, we need to crossbreed bats with humans. And then he does that and he becomes a living vampire. That's the movie. And then he fights another guy. There's really nothing to say about this movie. I'll be brutally honest, I just reviewed this so I can have a bit of fun with the Morbius memes. This is me selling out. Me watching Morbius is me selling out. That's what this is right now. It's a terrible idea, this whole Sony cinematic universe. I feel like it's been said so many times, but somehow Sony does not get it. So they did Venom, which I did a whole review on Venom. It wasn't very good. Have sex. But Venom has been his own character. He's like, he can be an anti-hero. Okay, there's precedent for that. And people know who Venom is, more importantly. Even non-Spider-Man fans would know who Venom is. Can't say that about Morbius. Well, now people know who Morbius is, but that's because the movie flopped. Having these characters without a hero to balance off of them. First off, these aren't villain movies because they're just anti-heroes. They always fight a bigger villain. So you don't have the marketing tactic of, oh, this is a villain movie, even though they try to do that. I could see a marketing tactic where it's like, if the movie was rated R, because then you could be like, oh, this is a violent, gritty superhero movie. And, you know, maybe you don't come to see Morbius specifically, but you come to see an R-rated, violent, action superhero movie. But it's PG-13, so what the fuck? I can't wait for the Sinister Six to get together just to have to fight a bigger villain. I wonder who they'll pick for the bigger villain. Fucking Mephisto? I don't know. And they'll just be superheroes. Except they'll eat people. Like, that's the only difference. The movie sucks. What is new? You knew this, clicking on the video. I knew it before I watched it. I feel like there's just so many of, like, passable movies now. I saw Doctor Strange 2, and, like, it was the same thing, where I was just like, I forgot most of it walking out of the theater. Doctor Strange was a better film because it had more things I liked. I liked some of the horror elements, but ultimately it was just sort of bland. The horror elements didn't really add that much to it. It felt like we're just having a normal movie, and then we turn to a horror segment now. It felt disjointed, and it lacked any sort of emotion or anything. It was just things happening, and that was the movie. This is a review of Doctor Strange 2 now, because who gives a fuck about Morbius? Spoilers. When I said I was originally going to review three movies, sorry. Doctor Strange 2 was one of them, and the other one was Top Gun, which a lot of people like, but again, I was just sort of like, it was fine, it was good, but I just feel like I'm not going to remember it, like, next week, which is fine to make it's fine to make a just turn your brain off action movie, but I feel like it's so common nowadays to just make a passable movie and then that's it. Last year I saw The Tomorrow War and it was the same thing. It was passable, it was fine. I've already forgotten most of what happens in that movie. I didn't see fucking Red Notice starring The Rock and Ryan Reynolds, but I'm guessing it was a 5 out of 10 movie that you forget about the week after you see it. I bring this up because this movie looks fucking fake. I'm sorry, this movie looked generated by AI. Okay? If someone says they've seen this movie, they're lying to you. No one's seen Red Notice. Okay? This movie was made in a lab. It's all an elaborate joke, okay? It's like
The Emperor's New Clothes. If you say you've seen it, you're lying. That's red notice. Let's get back to the Morbius review now.
And it's like, I'm just sick of it. It's fine every once in a while to have a movie like that you just see and it's a fun time while it's on. But then after the fact, you kind of forget about it. That's fine. But I feel like so many of these movies are getting made now that I'm just like, can we get something that's a bit more substantial, a bit more? And they do exist. It's not like they don't. I wish this sort of breed of movie became less common. I guess that's it. I don't know. I feel like I'm an old man shouting at a cloud. But yeah, this is the existential crisis that Morbius sent me down. So I hope you enjoyed this review, this rant. I'm gonna go morb. Whatever that means. No, look at me. I'm trying to do a bit.